everybody. My name is Miss Johnson, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Cedar Bluff Elementary. Hi to all my bluffers, and I'm really excited to be working with you guys on math today. So let's get started. All right, I'm going to let you guys look at my screen up here. And today we're going to be reviewing Unit 2, and our lesson objectives are identifying and counting objects of 6, 7, 8, and 9, and showing number pairs for 6, 7, 8, and 9. Right. So before we get started, if you are able to pause the video, you can gather some items so you guys can work along with me. You will need 2 different colored pens. My students know that I love red and blue, so you can use Sharpies, crayons, markers, pens, whatever you guys have around the house or whatever you want to use. You will also need 2 sets of counters that are the same colors, or 2 different colors. So you would need 9 of each. So I chose to use Legos, so I have 9 blue Legos and 9 red Legos. But you can also use jelly beans, candies, toys, whatever you have 9 of, and 2 different sets of colors will work. Also, I would like a 10 frame. I took a scrap piece of paper and drew a 10 frame on it. Just remember that you should have 5 on the top row and 5 on the bottom row. You will also need 2 sheets of paper with 4 boxes labeled 6, 7, 8, and 9. And again, you can use scrap paper, anything you have laying around the house. So if you want to go ahead and pause and gather these items, that's fine. If not, you can't pause, then you can do this activity after the video ends. Okay. So let's get started. We're going to get our brains going with a number talk. You're going to see some dots in a 10 frame, and I want you to tell me what number you see and how you know it's that number. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second to think about it. All right, so I see the number 7. And I could have seen this a variety of ways. You might have said, I see 5 on the top because I know the first row of my 10 frame, if it's full, it's 5. And I see 2 on the bottom, and 5 and 2 make 7. Okay, you might have also said that you see a group of 4 over here and a group of 3 over here, and you know that 3 and 4 make 7. Okay, you might have also said there are 1, 2, 3 empty spaces on your 10 frame, so you know that 7 is 3 less than 10, or you might have simply just counted your dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's get started with our lesson. Let's do some vocabulary. Our vocabulary for this unit is 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we know that 6 is when we have the 10 frame full at the top and 1 more. Okay. We also know that when we're looking at our number path, or when we're counting, that 6 is 1 more than 5 and 1 less than 7. We know that 6 comes after 5 and before 7. Okay, when we look at the number 7, we know that on our 10 frame, we have the top row full. So that's 5, and then 2 more. So it's 5, 6, 7. And when we're counting, or we look at our number path, here is 7, and 7 is 1 more than 6 and 1 less than 8. 7 comes after 6 and before 8. Why don't you guys go ahead and take a minute and hold up 7 fingers for me? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great job. All right, so if we look at number 8, when we're looking at our 10 frame, we see 5 at the top and 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, and we see 2 empty spaces. Okay, and when we're counting and we're looking at our number path, we know that 8 comes after 7 and before 9. Okay, 8 is 1 more than 7 and 1 less than 9. Go ahead and hold up 8 fingers for me. So we have 5 over here, 6, 7, 8. So we have 5 on this side and 3 on this side. All right, let's look at the number 9. And number 9 is always an easy one because we have one space open on our 10 frame. So we have the top row is full and 1, 2, 3, 4 full at the bottom. And when we're looking at our number path or when we're counting, we know that 9 comes after 8 and before 10. And that 9 is one more than 8 and one less than 10. Go ahead and hold up 9 fingers. So we should have 5 on one side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 on the other side. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right, our other word, vocabulary word for today is equal. And equal just means the same. So when we're reading our number sentence and we see the equal sign, we know we can say the same or same as. All right, so let's look at our first objective, which is I can identify and count objects of 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if we look up here, we're looking for the number 6. So I'm just going to trace that up here because all numbers are tall. And then we're going to count these and circle the ones that show the number 6. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're looking for the number 6. So that must be it. And then we have, let's count the yellow ones though, just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are going to circle the group of 6. Okay. Here we see on the next row, we see the number 7. So I'm going to trace the number 7. And if you have this worksheet, you can also go ahead and write the number 7. Okay, so let's count these dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we know we're looking for the number 7, so this must not be it. So let's see if this one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're looking for 7, so we're going to circle this group. Okay, if we go down here, we see the number 8. So we're just going to practice writing the number 8. Okay, and then practice again. Remember, all numbers are tall, so they touch the headline and the foot line. So let's go ahead and count to see which group of objects total 8 or equal 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that's my number, but let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know that 6 is not 8, so I'm going to circle the group of 8 umbrellas right here. Okay, and our last number we're going to practice counting is 9. Okay, so I'm going to start at the headline, loop around, and then pull straight down. Do it again over here, and now I'm going to count both sets of objects and see which one makes 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, 7 is not equal to 9, so they are not the same. So let's count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this group of squares is equal to or the same as the number 9. We have 9 squares, okay? So let's move on. So if you have a chance and want to pause this video to complete these 2 tasks, what I would like you to do is take your 10 frame that you drew over here and your counters. And for this, you can pick whichever group of counters you would like to. But you are going to practice building with your 10 frame the number 6 and then also the number 7, 8, and 9. And when you finish that, I would like you to take one of those sheets of paper where you made 4 boxes of 6, 7, 8, and 9 and draw 6 circles in this box, 7 in this box, 8 in this box, and 9 in this box. So For those of you who have your materials and cannot pause the video, I'm going to go ahead and practice that over here to the side to give you guys time. Okay, remember we're making 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're going to draw 6 circles here, 7 here, 8 here, and 9 here. Okay, so hopefully you guys had an opportunity to do that. If not, you can do it after the lesson if you are unable to pause. But let's go ahead and practice it up here. So here we have the number 6. So I'm going to draw 6 circles so that they are the same, they are equal. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you may have arranged your circles a different way, but as long as you count them and they are the same as 6, then you did perfect. Great job. All right, so now we see the number 7. So we're going to draw how many circles? 7. So let's do that together. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. And again, you might have drawn your circles in a different arrangement, but as long as you count them and they are equal to or the same as 7, then you did a great job. Now, when you built yours, you may have, here's the 10 frame. Of course, you might have used your sheet of paper and whatever counters you have, but it should look something like this. So count with me. Uh-oh, for some reason, it's not wanting to pull. Let's see what mode I have it in. Okay, let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so when you built this on your 10 frame, you should have the whole row filled on the top and then 3 on the bottom, and you should have 2 empty spaces. Okay, so let's do the same thing for 9. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so when you built this on your 10 frame mat, you should have had 5 at the top and 4 at the bottom, and of course have that 1 empty space. Okay, and you should have drawn 9 circles on your other sheet of paper and 8 circles on this sheet. Okay, so great job and great counting. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, so the other part of our lesson for Unit 2 is showing number pairs for 6, 7, 8, and 9. And since it is April, I would also like you guys to challenge yourself to write a number sentence that goes with it, okay? And so since we have a full 10 frame here, we know that 6 is less than 10, and it's actually 4 less than 10. So we know that 4 of these boxes are going to be empty, okay? So I'm just going to reveal the number I want to start with this time, and it is number 2. Okay, so I'm going to take 1, 2 blue dots there, and I will write on here next to the blue, because how many blue dots do I have? 1, 2. Write a 2 here, okay? And then I'm going to make 6 with red dots. So I have 2 blue dots. So I'm going to say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And so for the red space, I'm going to write, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 and 4 are a number pair for 6. And if I wanted to go ahead and write a number sentence, I'm going to do that underneath. But before I do that, I'd like everybody at home to think about what that number sentence might look like. So I'm going to give you a second to think about it and share it with your family member. All right, so I'll go ahead and write it down here. We would say 2 plus 4 equals or is the same as the number 6. Okay, 2 and 4 is equal to 6. So let's do the same thing over here with number 7. And you guys can't see this because I covered it up. But believe it is the number 5. So let's go ahead and do 5 blue dots. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to write what number next to the blue dots? Yeah, I'm going to write 5. Okay, now with the red dots, we're going to fill in the rest of the 10 frame to make what number? 7. All right, so let's do that now. So we have 5 up here, 5, 6, and 7. So let's double check our work by counting them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we did great. Next to the red, we're going to write how many red dots we have. And we have 1, 2. So we're going to write 2. So we know that 5 and 2 are a number pair for 7. So go ahead and think about a number sentence that I can write down here that will match our picture. Okay, and give you a second to tell your family member what that number sentence might be. All right, so I would say we would put 5 plus 2, because that's how many red dots we have, is the same as or equal to 7. Okay, so 5 plus 2 equals 7. Now we know that that's not the only number pair for 7, but you're going to get a chance to make number pairs on your own. Okay, so let's go ahead and make 8 over here, doing the same thing. Okay, I'm going to start with the number 6 for 6 blue dots. Okay, so count with me. 1, 2, doesn't want to pick up. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to write 6 under the blue dots, okay, right here. And it's really hard to write with this. So my handwriting is a little messy, but that's okay. All right, and then we are going to fill it up to make 8 with our red dots. So we have 6 here, 7, 8. And we need to go back and check our work just in case and count them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then next to the red dots, we are going to write how many red dots we have. And we have 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and write that in the spot. Number 2. And I'm going to give you a second to talk to your family member to make a number sentence or an equation that matches our picture for making 8. All right, so we would write 6, because that's how many blue dots, that's where we got that from, plus 2, because that's how many red dots we used, is the same as or equal to our total, which is the number 8. So our number sentence or equation should say 6 plus 2 equals 8. All right, let's go ahead and finish up with making 9. We should be pros at this now. Let's see what number we're going to start with. We're going to start with the number 8. Okay, so let's do 8 dots, blue dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh, didn't get one. 7, 8. Okay, and then we're going to write next to our blue dots the number 8. And we might just want to check that because that's a big number, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. Then we're going to use the red dots to finish making 9. So we know if we have 8, so we're going to count on, we need 8 and 9. Okay, so let's double check our work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So next to the red dot over here, we're going to write how many red dots we have, and we have 1. Okay, and again, I'm going to give you a second to tell your family member or friend how you would write this number sentence or equation. All right, so hopefully you said 8, because that's how many blue dots we have, plus, so we're adding the blue and the red together. And then you're going to put how many red dots you have, and you have 1. So 8 plus 1 is equal to, or the same as, and if we put all the red and blue dots together, we get the number 9. So 8 and 1 are the same as 9, or 8 plus 1 equals 9. Great job, guys. All right, so if you are able to pause the video, again, if you are not able to, you can gather these materials after the video and practice doing it at home. But we are going to practice building using both colored counters, a different way to make 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so not the ways that I did it. Try to come up with some different ways because there's lots of ways. And then in the other sheet of paper where you did the 4 boxes and you did 6, 7, 8, and 9, I'd like you to come up with another way to make 6, 7, 8, and 9. You may draw a picture, you may write a number sentence, or I would really love it if you did both. And remember that your number sentence should always match your picture. Okay, so go ahead and pause your video to build 6, 7, 8, and 9, and to draw and write a number sentence for 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, so this is what Miss Johnson did with hers. She worked these out and she came up with 6 using her red and blue, 7 using her red and blue, 8 using her red and blue, and 9. And then I thought I could use some help checking my answers, because remember with math, it's really easy to make a mistake and we should check our answers. So if you guys could help me out checking my answers and then also writing a number sentence or an equation that matches it. Okay, so let's start with number 6. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red, and then 1 blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my dots match the number 6. So let's think about how to write that number sentence. Okay, so I have 5 red. I would say 5 plus, because remember we're putting the red and the blue together. 5 plus, and then I have 1 blue equals 6. Okay, let's check my work for number 7. Okay, so I started with number 7. I started with 1, 2, 3, 4 red dots and 1, 2, 3, 3 blue dots. And if I count them all together, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my number of dots is equal to the number that I'm counting for. So now I'm going to write my number sentence. And I said I had 4 red dots. So if I have 4, and then I added 3 blue dots, and when I add my red and blue dots together, it makes 7. Okay, now when you worked on yours, when you pause the video, you might have got something else. As long as you have those 2 numbers that make 7, that's okay, because there's lots of ways to make 7 and 6 and 8 and 9, okay? All right, so let's check my work for number 8. Okay, I chose to do 1, 2, 3 red dots and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue dots. So I'm going to count them all together to make sure I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got 8, so I did good. So now I'm going to write my number sentence. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 red dots. So I'm going to write 3. And then I'm going to add my blue dots to it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to write a 5. And that is the same as or equal to, and I'm going to count them all together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, again, you might have come up with a different number sentence. As long as it's equal to 8, then you did a great job. All right, so let's check number 9, last one. 1, 2, so I have 2 red dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue dots. So then I'm going to count them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh. I think that 8 is not the same as 9, so I made a mistake. So when that happens, I can either add to my blue dots or add to my red dots. Okay, so I'm going to add to my blue dots. So I said I had 8, and I know that 9 is 1 more than 8, so I'm just going to add 1 dot, 1 blue dot, but I'm going to double check and count them all together, because remember, it's really easy to make a mistake sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now I'm going to write a number sentence to go with that. So as I'm writing it, you guys can be thinking about it. Okay, I'm first going to count how many red dots I have. I have 1, 2. I'm going to write a 2, and then I'm going to add my blue dots. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 blue dots, and that is equal to or the same as, and then I'm going to add all of these together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So 2 and 7 make 9. Okay, again, you might have come up with something different, and that's awesome. As long as both of those numbers or both sets of dots are the same as or equal to 9, then you did a great job. Pat yourself on the back. All right, so that is the end of our lesson for Unit 2. So my challenge for you guys while you're home this week is to see how many different ways you can come up with 6, 7, 8, and 9 with your number pairs and writing your number sentences. And you can ask a grown-up or an older sibling to check your work for you, but there's lots of different ways. We already came up with 2 different ways to make 6, 7, 8, and 9, and I hope you guys had fun. Don't forget to do your workbook pages and your packets, or you can download them from the KCS website. I had a lot of fun today, and I can't wait to see you guys back at school. Have a great day.